Here's something nobody tells you about turning 30. The dating pool doesn't just shrink. It transforms into something completely different. And if you're feeling like dating has become 10 times harder than it used to be, you're not imagining things. There's actual psychology behind why this happens. Let me ask you something. Remember how easy it was to meet people in your 20s? You'd go to a party, strike up a conversation, exchange numbers, and boom. New connection. Now? It feels like pulling teeth. Every interaction feels calculated. Every date feels like a job interview. What changed? The answer is going to surprise you. It's not just about having less time or fewer opportunities. The psychology of attraction and connection fundamentally shifts as we age. And understanding these 7 hidden reasons will completely change how you approach dating after 30. Let's start with the first reason. Your brain literally rewires itself. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, and it affects everything about how you form connections. In your 20s, your brain is still developing. It's flexible, open to new experiences, willing to take risks without overthinking every possible outcome. But after 30, something shifts. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making and risk assessment, reaches full maturity. This sounds like a good thing, right? More mature decisions. Better judgment. But here's the catch. This same maturity makes you more cautious. More analytical. Less likely to take emotional leaps. Think about it this way. When you were younger, you'd meet someone and think, why not give it a shot? Now you meet someone and your brain immediately starts calculating. Do they meet my criteria? Are they emotionally available? Do our life goals align? What's their relationship history? This analytical approach isn't wrong, but it creates paralysis. You overthink instead of feeling. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology confirms this. As we age, we become more selective in our social connections. We prioritize quality over quantity. While this leads to deeper friendships, it also means we're less open to new romantic possibilities. We've built walls without even realizing it. The second reason hits even harder. Your pool of available partners shrinks dramatically. And I'm not just talking about numbers here. Yes, statistically there are fewer single people after 30. Many of your peers are married, in long-term relationships, or have children. But the real issue goes deeper than that. The people who remain single after 30 often fall into specific categories. Some are career-focused and have deprioritized relationships. Others are recovering from serious relationships or divorces. Some have been single so long they've built entire lives around independence. And some, frankly, have unresolved issues that prevented earlier relationships from working. Now I'm not saying everyone single after 30 has problems. That's absolutely not true. But the dynamics are different. In your 20s, being single was the default. Everyone was figuring things out together. After 30, being single requires explanation. People wonder why. And that wondering creates pressure. This pressure manifests in uncomfortable ways. First dates become interrogations. Why are you still single? What happened with your last relationship? Do you want kids? When? These questions come up faster because everyone's trying to assess compatibility quickly. Nobody wants to waste time. But this urgency kills the organic development of genuine connection. Here's the third reason, and it's probably the most uncomfortable one to acknowledge. You've accumulated baggage. We all have. Every relationship that didn't work out left its mark. Every heartbreak taught you to protect yourself. Every disappointment added another layer to your armor. Psychologists call this emotional scarring, and it's completely normal. But it fundamentally changes how you approach new relationships. You're no longer naive. You've seen how things can go wrong. You know the warning signs. You've learned to spot red flags. And while this wisdom is valuable, it also makes you hypervigilant. You meet someone new and instead of enjoying the moment, you're scanning for problems. They said something slightly off? Red flag. They took 6 hours to text back? Red flag. They mentioned their ex? Massive red flag. This constant state of alert prevents you from being present, from being vulnerable, from giving people a real chance. But here's what makes it worse. You're not just carrying your own baggage. You're also dealing with everyone else's. The person you're dating has their own history, their own wounds, their own protective mechanisms. Two people with defensive walls trying to connect? It's like trying to hug someone while you're both wearing armor. The fourth reason involves something psychologists call the paradox of choice. In your 20s, you probably dated people from a limited pool. Your college, your workplace, your friend group, your neighborhood. The options were finite, so you made decisions based on who was actually available. But now? Dating apps have exploded the possibilities. You can swipe through hundreds of profiles in an hour. You can match with people across your entire city. You have more options than ever before. This should make dating easier, right? Wrong. It makes it exponentially harder. Why? Because when you have unlimited options, you become paralyzed by choice. You meet someone great, but you wonder if someone better is just one swipe away. You go on a good date, but you're already thinking about the 3 other matches waiting in your inbox. This abundance mentality prevents you from investing deeply in any single connection. Research from Columbia University proves this. When people have too many options, they become less satisfied with their choices. They second-guess themselves. They wonder what they're missing. They struggle to commit. Dating apps have turned relationships into a shopping experience, and you're always wondering if there's a better deal in the next aisle. The fifth reason is about life complexity. Your 20s were relatively simple. You had fewer responsibilities, fewer commitments, fewer non-negotiable aspects of your life. If you met someone you liked, you could be flexible. Adjust your schedule. Change your plans. Make room for them. After 30, your life is more structured. You have a career that demands your time and energy. You might have children from a previous relationship. You have financial obligations. You have established friend groups. You have hobbies and routines you're not willing to give up. Your life is full, and fitting someone new into it requires serious logistical coordination. This isn't just about being busy. It's about having less flexibility to compromise. In your 20s, you could date someone who lived across town and think nothing of it. After 30, a 30-minute drive feels like a deal breaker. You could date someone with different sleep schedules or weekend plans. Now you need someone whose life puzzle pieces fit perfectly with yours. And here's the kicker. The person you're dating has the same constraints. They have their own full life, their own commitments, their own non-negotiables. Finding two people whose complex lives align? It's like trying to solve 2 Rubik's cubes simultaneously. Possible, but incredibly difficult. The sixth reason is about emotional availability, and this one's crucial. In your 20s, most people were emotionally available by default. Sure, some had commitment issues or were emotionally immature. But generally, people were open to connection. They wanted relationships. They were looking for love. After 30, emotional availability becomes rare. Many people have been hurt so badly they've closed themselves off. They say they want a relationship, but their actions tell a different story. They keep you at arm's length. They avoid deep conversations. They sabotage intimacy before it develops. They're physically present but emotionally absent. This creates a frustrating dynamic. You might meet someone who checks all the boxes on paper. Attractive, successful, interesting, compatible. But they're not emotionally available. And no amount of compatibility matters if someone can't actually open their heart. You end up in situationships that go nowhere. Connections that feel promising but never deepen. Psychologists explain this through attachment theory. As we experience relationship failures, some people develop avoidant attachment styles. They want connection but fear vulnerability. They crave intimacy but panic when it gets too real. And after 30, you encounter far more people with these protective patterns. They've learned that loving someone means risking pain, so they choose emotional safety over connection. The seventh and final reason might be the most important. Your standards have evolved, and that's actually a good thing. In your 20s, you might have dated people because they were fun or attractive or simply available. You were figuring out what you wanted. Experimenting. Learning through trial and error. But now you know yourself. You know what you need in a partner. You know what behaviors you won't tolerate. You know what values matter to you. You've learned from past mistakes. You're not willing to settle for someone who doesn't meet your core requirements. And you shouldn't be. The problem? Very few people meet these evolved standards. You're looking for someone emotionally mature, financially stable, physically attractive, intellectually stimulating, emotionally available, and compatible with your life vision. That's a tall order. And the people who have all these qualities? They're probably already in relationships. This creates a difficult reality. You have two choices. Lower your standards and settle for someone who doesn't truly fulfill you. Or maintain your standards and accept that finding the right person will take longer. Neither option feels great. But settling leads to resentment and eventual breakup. Maintaining standards requires patience and resilience. So what do you do with all this information? First, recognize that dating difficulty after 30 isn't a personal failure. It's a natural consequence of psychological development, life complexity, and evolved standards. You're not broken. The game just changed. Second, adjust your approach. Stop trying to date like you did in your 20s. That person doesn't exist anymore. Instead, embrace your maturity. Use your self-knowledge as an advantage. Be intentional about who you pursue. Quality over quantity. Depth over breadth. Third, work on your own emotional availability. You can't control whether others are ready for real connection. But you can control your own openness. Address your baggage. Heal your wounds. Lower your defensive walls. The right person can't reach you if you're locked behind armor. Fourth, be patient with the process. Finding genuine connection after 30 takes time. That's okay. Rushing leads to poor choices. Desperation leads to settling. Trust that the right person is worth waiting for. Use this time to build an amazing life that someone would be lucky to join. And finally, remember this. Dating gets harder after 30, but relationships get better. When you finally find someone who meets your evolved standards, who matches your maturity, who fits your complex life, that connection will be deeper and more fulfilling than anything you experienced in your 20s. The difficulty is the filter. It ensures that when you find your person, they're truly your person. The psychology of aging doesn't make love impossible. It makes love more intentional, more meaningful, more real. And that's worth the extra effort.